Back again. I was on a talk earlier with Alice with Metis and what we're doing at Metis. So this will kind of re-highlight what we talked about a bit, but dive a little bit deeper into why we're focusing on AI. Trust in AI, blockchain, role in redefining intelligence. It's so important now that maybe I should start an introduction. Sorry. My name is Tom Ngo, CEO of Metis, for all that news joining us today, and thanks for coming out. Here at Metis, we're seeing the convergence of AI and blockchain at a very pivotal point in our industry. We see blockchain as a viable solution for AI currently, and one of the leading solution where we could put a strong use case with blockchain and one of the leading sector in the space. With the growing demand and importance of AI, it's extremely important that AI and how it affects our daily workflows and reliance on AI. AI supports us with automation, facts, research. Automation is something where it was just a human-only territory, but now we have autonomous agents that are doing a lot of the work for us, screening our emails, screening our chats, providing input. And with that, we are so reliant on it that we trust it blindly. But trusting it blindly, there are challenges and risks. Are we trusting it to do our work? Do we trust the data and the algorithm behind this autonomous agent? That's the key thing. And Metis see the importance of why it's important to verify this data and how important your data is to the people and to us. So this research was by the Toast Center. It pulled 200 articles and asked 8 generative tools on questions. Scary enough, actually the blue and the purple kind of look the same here, but the purple is on top, and that's how many wrong answers in those questions that was provided. That's more than half for 70% of these generative tools. I think the only one that I would trust would be Perplexity Pro or Perplexity. Even with ChatGPT, the blue on the bottom is less than half of the time they were correct. But yet, the AI generative tool provided the answer with confidence. And for us, we trust in AI. We trust in the answers that they give us. We trust in Wikipedia. Who's verifying this data? I think that's pretty scary. I definitely would not use Gemini. I'm not sure who here used Gemini. But they only had one correct answer out of those 200. You know, one of the key things here's an example of how Gary Gensler and the FTC said that, you know, AI could be disruptive in a fragile financial market. There was a viral image that went viral. That was an AI image, misinformation, that crashed the market to the daily low. That's pretty scary. It's not just this, but it's also in social media as well. News, a tweet from Elon Musk, right? It's the content, it's the data that influence the market, not just AI. Fake news, it could disrupt industry. It could disrupt, I would say, brands, people's personal lives. You see that all the time. It's more important now that we address this than wait till later, until it affects us. One of the key challenges is generative hallucination, where AI provides facts. You know, I was thinking about this in the shower. I was like, you know, during my presentation, how do I really translate this to the audience? Imagine somebody on the streets that is hallucinating, but in their mind, it's reality. AI is the same way. When they hallucinate, they think the facts are facts, and they use this to provide answers to what the user are asking. So this is an example how a user was asking about the Fry Festival. I'm not sure who remember the Fry Festival with Ja Rule, the big tobacco. Here in the kind of the pressure prompt, it asks, was the Fry Festival event a fraud? It says no. But yet another model, when you ask it in a different way, it says yes, the Fry Festival was a fraud. But in actuality, there was no factual. It was just a logistic issue where they didn't fraud the users, but they was just poor planning. Here's another example, a generative tool fabricating facts. The thing is, we're always relying on facts. I was sharing earlier, I use AI for work. I use it for research as well. But if the facts is wrong in the beginning, all our work is incomplete. Imagine doing a research paper, doing critical studies, do medical studies, and your facts are wrong. That affects everything. It affects results. That's time, money, cost, resources, and inefficiency. So we see data as extremely important, especially clean data, data that's been sourced and verified for truth. Here, there was a study and a question on the Colorado poverty. A user asked, what's the poverty rate? AI provided 12.25%, but in actuality, the fact is 9.8% for that year. Here, this is factual facts that the AI provided, unproven facts. And this happens quite a bit. As the panel earlier today was speaking, hallucination is a big thing. And facts, one thing that I really heard from a colleague of mine about what happened from a foreign entity launching over 200 fake websites to manipulate AI models. As AI model tools are searching the website, how do they fact check? They fact check for references. But if you're polluted and all your references are created with fake facts, it's easily manipulated. But how do we hold that accountable to the source? We can't. So can you trust AI? I trust it to a certain extent, but I trust it with arm's length. My personal things, I don't trust it with my wallet. I don't trust it with my personal conversation. Of course not. But for work research, somewhat, right? Because it doesn't affect you as much. But if it's personal, then that's a different story. The core needs of AI, privacy, sensitive data that can be protected throughout the whole composition. That's one key thing. Not just privacy, verifiability, prove that the AI workflow was clean and how it was supposed to be operated. And trust. Can users trust and trace AI behavior without relying on central authority? I think no, because we don't have that source at the moment. But that's why we're tackling it today with Metis. AI needs a system of verifiability by design. When I say by design, it's built to verify data. It's built with truth. That's why we're incubating LazAI, an application layer to help verify this data for the AI industry, to help verify the data that we're using, not just for our daily lives, but for work, for business, for everything we're doing. And with the traction of AI and the use of AI making our life easier, it's more important now, all built by Metis SDK. One of the innovating approach that I showed earlier, what LazAI is bringing to the market is DAT. It's a data anchoring token, a new token standard that turns data model output in programmable and valuable assets. This can be measured. You think about content creators. Why are they valuable? It's because of the content that they provide. Same thing, how do you reward users that are contributing to certain models? You can't, not at the moment. Everything is pooled, and some sources of data is actually pooled without consent of the users. But we need to find a way to really market, monetize, and provide value to the people who are contributing to these models. IDAO is a redefining governance in the AI economy by providing individual rather than organization. What does that mean? Search, when we have a model that we intend with built intent to say, be programmable for a certain reason, but we don't know who is leading it, why is it built for. This is really controlled by certain centralized authority that we don't have control. But with IDAO, we're bringing the power back to the contributors of the system and contributing to the data. The building block of LazAI, verified computing, the trust stack, zero knowledge proof, verifiable guaranteed data that doesn't release the sensitive information, trusted execution environment, hardware-based trust, low execution complexity. And optimistic proof, transparent fraud resolution with no ZK setup. This is the trust stack where LazAI is built upon to really align the data alignment for the industry. So where does LazAI apply ZK? ICID. Input validation, proves data meets standard, the data is sanitized, so at the ground level, you know their data is clean. Constraint satisfaction, prove output stayed within boundaries on how they should perform and limitations. Inference execution, proves the model ran correctly. And data privacy. Data privacy is truly important, especially in the healthcare, finance, defense as well. So this is an example how the workflow of the ZK IDAO would work. And a user would input data, reference, model ID, and its constraints. The task runs through a trusted execution environment. It spits out a ZK snark that really verifies that it met requirements, logistic constraints were satisfied, and the output is consistent with the model computation. The verified contracts is then sent on chain and verified via the ZK proof. From what we see at Metis, it's more important now and what we're tackling today with blockchain. And that's why we're building LazAI, a way to really provide the industry with a valuable need and solution in the AI sector. LazAI is here to really transform and be the fundamental layer for the data alignment that is not being tackled by many or none that we are aware of now. It's simple, but yet so important. Know your source, know the truth, and trust your data. To learn more, you can connect with our QR code here at LazAI and our social media. Trust in Metis, as we have been evolving in the industry for 3 years, and we're tackling the AI sector today and beyond. We're super excited to build with you guys and all our colleagues here today. Thank you so much for your time.